Germán Márquez shows why so many teams, it feels like, he's been linked to in the last couple of years in trades. Was terrific. The Rockies shut out the Twins. We got a lot to talk about on today's Locked On Twins postcast.
You are Locked On Twins postcast, part of Locked On Sports Minnesota, your team every day.
And welcome to another edition of our Locked On Twins postcast. It is Friday, June 24th. I'm the host of Locked On Twins, Nash Walker, here with writer and reporter at Access Twins, Brandon Warren. Before we get started, BetOnline.net is your number one source, all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. BetOnline is where the game starts. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action at betonline.net. Surprising outcome here, Brandon, sorta, on Friday night. Germán Márquez comes into this game with a 6+ ERA on the season. He's got great stuff, and I think stuff won the day. That he shuts out the Twins in 8 innings, or 7 and 2/3, I should say, and the Rockies shut out the Twins 1-0.
Yeah, and I think I kind of had teased that last night by saying, don't be deceived by his numbers. This is a good pitcher. And I think the biggest issue I had was leadoff walks, leadoff base runners just not getting cashed in by this offense. And I think it started in the first inning. Luis Arraez works that walk, and then after that, they just go lifeless. And I think that first inning set the tone for what was the night to come. And do I think that it's fair to say that that one inning set the tone? Maybe not necessarily, but it certainly, if you look back on it and you say that, it makes some sense. So, yeah, they let Márquez get into a groove, and even with 5 walks, he pretty much did his job, and nobody wants to face Daniel Bard late in games either. So, just one of the most frustrating losses of the season for sure.
Yeah, I have my book here, and I could be wrong on my counting, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 groundouts tonight I have for the Twins. Feels like a lot of balls were chopped into the ground, Brandon. And honestly, like, we saw them hit some homers in the Cleveland series, but this offense has been different, and we've talked about that throughout the year. Maybe more ground balls. I don't have the data to back it up right now, but tonight it certainly felt that way.
And it goes to show, and I tweeted this, that I don't think Gio Urshela can hit higher than 6th or 7th on a big league offense that's consistently going to score 4, 5, 6 runs a night. And again, part of that is Jorge Polanco's hurt. Part of it was keeping left-right balance with Kirilloff and Miranda and all that. But to me, it was just there's too much reliance on the top third of the order. And then Byron Buxton being dinged up doesn't help anything. He comes in and has not a very good plate appearance against Daniel Bard, which it's not really fair to come in and face that guy cold anyway. But there's too many guys that are not pulling their weight right now. And, you see guys like Ryan Jeffers heating up, but not so much that you can put him higher up in the order and rely on him. It's just really a disjointed effort right now. And like you said, all those grounders too. Márquez gets grounders, he gets strikeouts. He does a lot of the things you want a starting pitcher to do. So again, do not be deceived by his season numbers. This guy's a really good pitcher.
Josiah says Germán Márquez with a great addition to impress the Twins enough to trade for him. What are your thoughts on him required for the rotation? My thought on it, I'll go first, Brandon, is I think even though he struggled this year, we've read in recent years and reports have come out that, and it should be this way, the Rockies are asking for a king's ransom for Germán Márquez, and they're going to hold on to pitching even tighter because they're not going to get free agent starting pitchers to come to Colorado in a majority of off seasons.
Yeah, I love the idea, but in practical approach or practical application, I just don't see it happening. I think he's valued as high as or more highly than Frankie Montas, who only has a year plus of control. And I know they signed Senzatella. I think they signed Márquez too. So he's the caliber of pitcher, and he does the things that a Rockies pitcher needs to do in terms of keeping it on the ground and striking guys out. So I love the idea, but I just do not see it happening.
Another one, Josiah. What are your thoughts on the Twins interested in Castillo report from Heyman? I love Luis Castillo. I've liked Luis Castillo for a long time. I thought he made sense for the Twins in the offseason. I know there's pushback on that, and we know the cost would be, huge. But obviously, I think Luis Castillo makes a ton of sense for the Twins. What do you think, Brandon?
I think I like Tyler Mahle better, but I really don't have a problem with either of them. Again, the issue is going to be acquisition cost. It's going to cost you guys that you are going to have to grit your teeth and trade. And I just don't think Twins fans are going to be okay with that unless the guy comes over and has a Randy Johnson-like run like he had with the Astros he went off for? Probably back before you were born, I guess. I probably should be dating myself like this. But there's been a few guys who've been rentals like that. I think CC Sabathia with the Brewers is another one. You'd need a guy to go off like that. And these guys wouldn't be rentals, don't get me wrong. But to justify trading that many prospects of that caliber would certainly make Twins fans say, okay, this guy's got to be really good. And that's hard to do.
What do you think the reason is, Brandon, this team is shut out so often? Why is there so much inconsistency with this offense? It feels like there shouldn't be when you have a rise in Correa. And I know Buxton didn't start tonight and Polanco's been out, but it just feels like there should be more consistency from this lineup.
And I think it's just a matter of they do rely pretty heavily on guys who aren't super consistent right now. It's Kepler, it's Sanchez, it's Urshela, it's even Jeffers has been bad, but then has picked it up to now he's over a 90 weighted runs created plus. So to me, there's just too much volatility and it's not spread out through the offense. But the problem is I'm not sure how that changes unless you get to a point where Alex Kirilloff and Trevor Larnach are playing every single day, batting 6th or 7th, and really kind of evening things out. Because if you're going to have guys like Gio Urshela batting cleanup or Gary Sanchez, you're going to go as they go. And they've been very hot and very cold this year at varying times.
The good news, or maybe it's more frustrating for Twins fans, is the Guardians lost at home to the Red Sox, and the White Sox are trailing to Baltimore late. That's not over yet, and we've seen the White Sox come back quite a bit, especially recently. So could be all three contending teams in the Central lose tonight, and it may make it feel better for the Twins. But Brandon, let's look ahead. You got Chris Archer on the mound and then Joe Ryan on Sunday. Feels like this is a series the Twins need to win. They need to go win the next 2 days, I feel like.
They really do. And how about this too? Let's talk for a second about, we're talking about Chris Archer starting tomorrow. How about taking Dylan Bundy out with as many pitches as he had tonight? I didn't have a problem with it. I was more concerned with putting Tyler Duffy in that spot. Duffy did what he needed to do. And if you're going to face 6, 7, 8 on a Rockies team that doesn't hit the ball outside of Coors Field, it's kind of a get back on the bicycle outing. But then he goes back out for a second inning, struggle, still gets through it. To me, it's going to be interesting to see how Archer progresses, because is he going to be able to throw enough pitches to get into the 5th inning, 6th inning, which we have not seen much, if at all, this season. So, I guess I kind of tied those things together loosely, but I'm curious to see if Archer's going to get pushed a little bit more as the season goes on, or if this is going to be a season-long thing, because the guy only threw like 20 innings last year. And the Twins should be able to do damage against Senzatella. It's just a matter of will they.
It's simple to me, simple-ish on Archer days, especially now that Griffin Jax is not thrown in 2 days. You go Archer 4-5, you go Jax 6-7 or 5-6 or whatever it is, and then maybe Thielbar for the McMahon black part of the order, and then you hopefully flip it over to Duran. So it's fairly simple for me if the game is close, and the Twins have played so many close games here recently, Brandon. Hopefully get back on the horse, win tomorrow, win this series Sunday, but 1 inning at a time, because right now, or today, they weren't hitting with runners in scoring position, and they actually scored 1 run yesterday. So 1 run in the last 18 innings, or I guess 17 innings, because they didn't hit last night in the 9th. But that is ungood, as we say. Brandon, thank you. Brandon's on vacation, man. He's with us. He's talking to us. Leave him a comment. I know people are enjoying it. And Locked On Sports Minnesota, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much. Thanks for the comments. Always, Josiah's always got like 15 questions for us, which I love.
Love him.
We'll always answer them. So thank you, Brandon. Have fun, and hopefully we'll chat again at some point this weekend.